everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I'm gonna tell you how much money I spend in a month, both my fixed costs and the costs that vary each month. So I guess let's get started with the things that I pay each month that stay the same. Maybe let's add a short disclaimer. I am a mom. I try to live very minimally and sustainably, so I do try to keep my expenses low. Also, this YouTube channel is my income, is my job, and it's not that big yet, so I do not have that much money to spend. So that's another reason why I try to keep my costs as low as possible. Even though there's not that much money in my life, I am very, very thankful for what I have. I am happy where I am. Of course, I hope that maybe my business is going to be a bit more profitable in the future to make sure that I can save up more money for retirement and for my son and for all the things that might come in life. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for this working. And so let's dive into the numbers, and I'm going to share exactly how much money I spend each month. I have my phone here where I calculated everything yesterday so that it doesn't take that long to get the numbers. And we're starting off with the first thing, like the most expensive thing that I pay each month, which is my rent. So for rent, I pay 503 euros and 87 cents. Another thing to know is that I live here with my boyfriend and my son, and my boyfriend and we split all like our costs for this apartment, for our household, 50-50. So this 503 euro and 87 cents is half of what our rent costs. And for Germany, that is extremely expensive for the kind of apartment we live in, but we live in the most expensive city, so that's why. Then the next payment I pay each month is my health insurance. That is 108 euros and 81 cents. Now that is still the amount of health insurance that a student has to pay. And as far as I know, my health insurance company should reach out to me and make that payment higher, but they haven't. So I'm kind of planning for like having a huge payment in a few months where I have to pay the difference between that amount and what I actually owe now. But we'll see, and I do have money for that in a savings account, so nothing bad will happen if that comes up. But these 108 euros and 81 cents are the amount that I pay for health insurance each month. And the next payment is another general like household bill, and I pay this to my boyfriend because he pays all the bills, but it's half of our bills when it comes to other household stuff. That includes Netflix, our Adobe Creative Cloud subscriptions with like all the programs for cutting videos and editing photos and things like that, our internet bill, and all the warm water and electricity stuff is included in our rent. We pay like an average, and if we use more, we have to pay more in the end of the year, and if we use less, we get some money back. And then the next and last fixed bill that I have each month is my phone bill, and I own this phone, so I'm not paying for that phone monthly, so my phone bill is extremely cheap. It's just 6 euros, but it also isn't a great plan, so I'm looking to change it. But as you might know, it's always like you have to cancel it 3 months before it runs out, and then it's running for another year, and I just missed the moment where I could cancel it last year, so I'm canceling it this year, and I think it's in August where I have to do that. So all these costs that I have to pay for each month that are fixed costs come up to 710 euros and 68 cents. And then we're moving on to the fixed costs that I pay yearly. So these are just withdrawn from my bank account at some point in the year, but of course there are things that still are that I have for the whole year, and that is the travel insurance. I pay that for my whole family just because it's not that much money and I set it up, and so I'm just paying it for all of us, and that is 37 euros and 80 cents per year. And then the next insurance is our general liability insurance, and that's again something I pay for the whole family because it's not that much and I set it up, and that's 44 euros and 27 cents. Now, the next insurance that you might expect is a household insurance or something that just covers all the things that we own. But I have to say we don't own an insurance like that. Just because our whole apartment is secondhand, not expensive. The only expensive things are our cameras and our equipment, maybe our computers, and I just think it's not worth it. We are looking into having an insurance specifically for our tech gear. That would maybe make sense, but for the rest of the household, I don't know what should happen to it. And if it does, it's not that much money to replace everything, so we have decided to not have like a household insurance. And then the next two things I pay each year is 2 subscriptions to get tickets 50% off, and I mean train tickets in Switzerland and in Germany. This is the Bahncard 50, which means that I just get 50% off all like trains, but not like public transport in the city, but just trains between the cities. And this is like a youth thing where it's not that expensive, but I think I have to cancel it this year because otherwise it's going to be more expensive, and I don't think it's worth it for me to pay the more expensive price because I'm not traveling that much, especially not during the past year, and in the future I don't think it will be worth it. So that is 60 euros and 70 cents per year. But I also have the same thing for Switzerland, also the 50% one where I just get 50% off. It's called Halbtags, and that costs me 158 euros. Now, fun fact, or just stupid fact, it was not possible to pay that in euro. The invoice was in Swiss francs, but since my bank account does not allow me to pay in Swiss francs, I reached out to them and the support just said, yeah, I should pay a similar amount in euro. So I made sure that it was a bit more than what I had to pay. So it's these 158 euros. But I don't know, maybe it was a lot too much, maybe just a little bit, and I don't know. So it's gonna be strange, and they're gonna pay it back to me or like lower the payment next year, but it's just a bit complicated and annoying. But let's see if I have something else. Oh yes. The next thing is our sports subscription. That's just a yearly thing. It's not a gym membership, but it's something for our whole family. We would be able to do some like team sports here locally in some gyms, but we actually made it for my son because he wanted to have some more contact with other kids and he wanted to do some more sports, but that was back in 2019. And that thing costs us 72 euros per year, but I am thinking about canceling it. He wasn't able to go to any classes during the past year, and so it wasn't worth it. But I just hoped that this situation will be over soon and he would be able to go again, but until now that hasn't been the case, so I'm really thinking about canceling that. That's also something that I pay for our whole family just because I set it up. Why not? Like, I'm just paying it. So this whole amount of fixed costs that I pay yearly is 372 euros and 77 cents, and divided by 12, that is 31 euros and 6 cents each month that are added to my like fixed costs. So now my fixed costs that I pay each month, like the total of all the fixed costs, are 741 euros and 74 cents. Another fixed cost that I really want to add in the future is saving up for retirement. I haven't set that up. I had a lot of like counseling calls and things like that to figure out which plan would be best for me. Because I'm self-employed, I don't have to pay into like a government retirement fund or something. I have to take care of that for myself, and I think I'm about to decide, because I mean that's a very important decision and there are a lot of hidden costs and things. So I have researched a lot, had a lot of these counseling calls, and I think now I'm almost ready to go forward with something. For now, I want to at least save 100 euros per month. It should be getting more and more if I make more money. But yeah, I want to add like these 100 euros as fixed costs in the future, but right now they're not fixed costs. I just try to save up on a bank account, which isn't a good place to save money. I'm totally aware of that, but that's just what I do for now until I have decided with which company and plan and solution to go. And then we're coming to the changing costs that change each month. And I thought there would be like a lot, but actually there's just 2 things. And that is food and like miscellaneous stuff that changes each month, and that's not that much. So for food, I cannot tell you how much it is exactly, but I'd say it's about 500 euros each month. Now that is more than I would have to spend, just because it's very important to me to try to make sustainable choices. And sustainable choices means buying packaging free, which is often more expensive, buying organic, which is often more expensive, buying fresh, and sometimes just, nuts and vegetables and things that are more expensive. So that is why I allow myself to just spend whatever it takes, kind of. But of course, if I see two products and the one that I'd like to have is more than double the price of the other one, I sometimes still choose the less expensive one, just because I don't think I can afford that much when it comes to spending for food. But I try to allow myself there to just invest into quality food and not to be too frugal when it comes to paying for food. If you're interested in my grocery shopping routine, I link the video up here so you can check it out. And then let's move on to the miscellaneous stuff that changes each month. And because I can't really tell you how much that is exactly, I just took out all the numbers from the month this year so far, so you can get an idea of how much that is. So in January, miscellaneous costs were €1.90 for stamps. In February, I paid €8.84 for secondhand fitted sheets for my son's bed, and €1.10 for stamps. That makes €9.94 in February. In March, I paid €3.15 for stamps. We send a lot of letters to Switzerland. My son likes to draw drawings and we send it to family, so that's why we spent that much money on stamps. And in April, we had to buy a new couch because our old fake leather couch was just falling apart. It was really disgusting. So we bought a new couch secondhand for €150. So that is a lot more expensive, of course, in that miscellaneous category. And we also, and I also bought wool for €15. And that comes to €164 in April of miscellaneous things. And together in these 4 months, I paid €178.99 in miscellaneous things, and monthly that makes €44.75. Now I think that is about accurate, because something like a couch or a bigger expense like this just happens, I guess, twice a year. The last thing we bought was a washing machine in autumn, and before that I really don't remember. Maybe money for the trip that was cancelled to Mongolia a year ago. Then we have all the numbers, and if my life stays like this, or for the past few years, because that's the numbers we have here, or for the past years, I think it's pretty accurate, and it comes down to my life costing €1,286.49 per month. Now again, that is my life plus some of the costs for my son and my boyfriend and our food, because I mostly go grocery shopping for the past year, I guess. So yeah, that is what my life costs. Now, I would be really interested in knowing how expensive your life is. If you track your finances, things like that. I'll also link you to the playlist about financial minimalism, or just minimalism money and money in my life in general up here, where you can see how much I earn on YouTube, how much I spent in the last 2 months of last year, what the things are that I do, because one of the things is actually keeping an overview. And it has been really interesting because I've never had such a good overview. Now I exactly know how much my life costs. And with that being said, of course, during the past few months, I have not been traveling. And that is a bit more expensive. But usually we don't travel expensively. We just maybe have another €100 a month if I, for example, go to Switzerland. And if we go really go on vacation for several weeks during summer or something like that, usually that has been below €500, because we love camping, we love car sharing, and just try to make it as inexpensive as possible without sacrificing the experience. But for me, going camping, going on a road trip is the experience I'd like to have. And another thing that I haven't had in the past few months is birthdays. But usually for a birthday, I wouldn't spend more than €100. That is about the budget. Sometimes it's only 30, sometimes it's 70, but not more than €100. Just so you know, for last Christmas, I think I spent €160 in totals for gifts for my family, my son, my boyfriend, just so you have an idea of my budget for presents. One thing I want to add is that this video does not cover my business costs, but business costs are really different from other costs because I can like write these off for taxes and things like that. So yes, that doesn't cover business costs. If you're interested in my business costs, let me know. They are very low at the moment, and I try to keep them that low as long as my business is not more profitable. I think my life is not very expensive, and I actually did a quiz or like answered some questions in a questionnaire online to see where we are at with our income, and actually it says we are like below the poverty line with our incomes, and that might be true. Being poor or living with a lot of poverty struggles is not what I'm experiencing, because I am pretty aware that I'm super privileged and that I can have almost everything I want to have, and I don't choose to buy a lot of things because I don't need them, but I feel like I have enough. Like I have enough, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm just really, really, really grateful, and I think that's a very important thing as well. Now, let me know what you would be interested in. Additionally, if I should make more videos about minimalism and money, other questions you might have regarding my life or my spending or things like that. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, because that would really help my channel and my business. And if you want to see more videos, I'll link you a video here and a playlist here that you can check out if you're interested and if you have time now. And I, of course, also hope to see you next time. Bye!